Dokkodo Precept 16. Except for weapons, do not be attached to tools. Here's a question. Do you feel this way right now? I'm waiting for the right gear before I start. I need better tools to succeed. If I just had this one tool, my life would change. Here's the truth. This tool addiction is exactly what paralyzes you from taking action for life. What I'm sharing today is Dokkodo Precept 16, one of the 21 teachings that Miyamoto Musashi wrote 7 days before his death. What will happen to you in these 7 minutes? On Monday morning, you'll be freed from the excuse, I don't have the right tools, and take action immediately. You'll shift from spending days, collecting tools, to spending days sharpening essential skills. You'll stop obsessing over what to use and focus on what to accomplish. In other words, you'll transform from someone dependent on tools to someone who delivers results with any tools. This video will be that turning point, more powerful than reading 100 self-help books. I guarantee it. Let's begin. Miyamoto Musashi Dokkodo Precept 16. Heigu wa kakubetsu. Yo no dougu tashinamazu. In English, except for weapons, do not be attached to tools. It means be obsessed with the quality of your core craft, but be indifferent to everything else. Now, wait a minute. Don't care about tools? But isn't using good tools important? No, that's not it. What I'm about to share is not feel-good self-help philosophy. This is the life philosophy of a man who fought over 60 death matches and never lost once. Words written 7 days before death. Think about it. What Musashi teaches is not don't own tools. It's obsess only over tools essential to your core purpose and ignore everything else. For Musashi, weapons, his tools of survival, were life or death equipment. So he was meticulous about his weapons. However, other tools, like tea ceremony, utensils, or fancy clothing, he completely ignored. Why? Because those had nothing to do with his essential purpose, mastering the way of the sword. Musashi thought this way. Energy is finite. Focus on what's essential and eliminate everything else. In modern terms, Musashi embodied focus and selection. Invest in tools related to your core purpose. But don't waste time, money, or energy on anything else. This clear boundary made Musashi the strongest. Why are we attached to tools? First, the illusion that tools compensate for lack of skill. If I buy the latest camera, I'll take great photos. If I buy premium notebooks, I'll write great content. However, this is backwards. With skill, you can deliver results with any tools. Without skill, no tool will save you. Second, preparation is a form of procrastination. I'll start once I have better tools. However, those better tools never arrive. Why? Because there's always something even better. Here's the trap. Buying a high-end tool gives you the dopamine hit of progress without actually doing the work. What Musashi teaches is this: victory is in the hand, not the hilt. In the era Musashi lived, many samurai obsessed over their swords. Famous swords, expensive swords, prestigious swords. However, Musashi was different. At the duel on Ganryu Island, he used a wooden sword carved from a boat oar. Not a real sword, an improvised wooden one. This proves Musashi knew not the tool, but the wielder's skill determines victory. With the best tool but no skill, you lose. With the worst tool but skill, you win. This was the level Musashi reached. No, Musashi-san. But good tools improve efficiency, right? I understand. I get it. But look carefully. Many people waste time and money obsessing over tools, instead of sharpening essential skills. Have you had experiences like these? The fetishization of tools. You want to start a side business. First, you buy the latest computer. Next, you buy a premium microphone. Then lighting. Then editing software. Before you know it, you've spent 300,000 yen. However, you haven't created anything yet. I'll start once I have all the tools. What happened? You're satisfied with collecting tools, but not taking action. Musashi says, stop collecting. Start now. Tools will follow. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak started Apple in a garage. They didn't have the best tools. However, they had skill. That's why they could change the world. Another example, the habit of blaming tools. You're writing a blog. However, traffic isn't growing. If only I had a better template. If only I had better SEO tools. You blame the tools, ignoring the real issue: content quality. What happened? Changing tools doesn't change results. Why? Because the problem isn't the tool, it's the skill. What Musashi teaches is this: stop blaming tools, sharpen your skills. When Elon Musk started SpaceX, he didn't have NASA-level equipment. However, he had brilliant engineers and a clear vision. He invested in people and strategy, not tools. And he became the first private company to deliver a rocket to the space station. One more, the trap of losing sight of the essence. You take up photography as a hobby. At first, you shoot with your smartphone. However, thinking I want better photos, you buy a DSLR. Then you buy premium lenses, a tripod too. Before you know it, you're only talking about cameras. This lens is great. This camera is the best. However, your photography skills haven't improved. What happened? Obsessed with tools, you're not learning essential skills like composition or use of light. Musashi says, don't talk about tools. Talk about your work. Modern society constantly whispers to you, buy better tools. Latest smartphone, latest computer, latest gadgets. Everything provokes, with this, you'll succeed. However, Musashi says, tools don't make you successful. Your skills make you successful. Those dependent on tools are enslaved by tools. Only those who sharpen skills obtain true freedom. Which will you choose? Let's clear up common misunderstandings. Question 1. Not caring about tools means use cheap stuff? No, Musashi doesn't say use cheap tools. He says obsess only over tools essential to your core. Essential tools. This is core to my work, obsess over it. Everything else, this doesn't matter. Don't obsess. If you're a photographer, obsess over your camera. However, you don't need to obsess over clothes or cars. If you're a writer, obsess over your computer. However, you don't need to obsess over office decor. Identify what's essential. Question 2. But don't good tools boost motivation? Temporarily, yes. However, Musashi asks, if that tool disappears, does your motivation disappear too? Motivation dependent on tools is fragile. The moment the tool breaks, it's gone. Motivation based on skill is strong. It doesn't waver in any situation. Question 3. Musashi obsessed over weapons, right? Isn't that contradictory? No, Musashi doesn't say, don't obsess over anything. He says, obsess only over what's essential. For Musashi, weapons were essential tools, so he obsessed over them. However, other tools weren't essential, so he didn't obsess. You two identify your essence and pour your energy only there. So what should you do starting today? Just 3 things. Action 1. Audit your arsenal. For your work or life, write down only 3 tools that are absolutely necessary. Examples: writer computer, quiet environment, notepad. Photographer camera, light, subject. Entrepreneur notebook, internet, network. Everything beyond these 3 is nice to have but not essential. Invest only in these 3. Many people realize when making this list, I only truly needed 3 tools. Why is this effective? Clarity on what's essential reduces attachment to wasteful tools. Action 2. Start with what you have. Before buying new tools, start with what you have. Abandon the thought, if only I had better tools. Shoot videos with your smartphone. Edit with free software. Plan with paper and pen. Start with what you have now. Many people realize through this practice, even without tools, there's so much I could do. Why is this effective? Preparation as procrastination transforms into action. Action 3. Invest in skills, not tools. This month, take the money you'd spend on tools and invest it in skills instead. Instead of a 100,000 yen new camera, attend a 100,000 yen photography workshop. Instead of a 50,000 yen new computer, take a 50,000 yen online programming course. Tools are consumables. They'll break eventually. However, skills are lifetime assets. No one can take them from you. Many people realize through this shift, when I invested in tools, I didn't grow. When I started investing in skills, I grew rapidly. Why is this effective? Dependence on tools decreases and trust in yourself increases. How was it? Miyamoto Musashi's Dokkodo, Precept 16. Except for weapons, do not be attached to tools. From a life dependent on tools to a life delivering results with any tools. From if only I had good tools to with what I have now. Experience this transformation yourself. If you found this video even slightly helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel. Well then, see you in the next video. Thank you very much.